Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about the House of Wolves, more specifically the Prison of Elders. I usually don't do commentaries like this, but I have a few strategies that actually might help your fire team. Now, one thing my fire team and I noticed in the chambers is there's very little cover, and the enemies usually spawn from side doors or middle, so the last place you want to be in each chamber is in the middle, and it doesn't matter what chamber, the Fallen, Hive, Vex, Cabal, it's just, there's nowhere to hide. The Bungie really did a good job of making sure there's no place you can cheese the Prison of Elders. And that's why strategy has just a huge part in the play of how you would be able to beat or survive the Prison of Elders. Now personally, my fire team went in there with a Hunter, a Warlock, and a Titan. So we had the variety in supers and classes and everything. Obviously our Warlock was running Sunsinger. I as the Hunter was running Blade Dancer, and our Titan was running Defender. Now if you've never played the Prison of Elders, it's a horde mode, and you go in there with your fire team, and there's 4 rounds. Each round has 3 waves each, and they can be things from just survive and kill everything to deactivating mines, destroying mines, or killing a major target before it reaches a point within the arena. And while all this chaos is going on, you're timed to have to do these things, and it's just also you're being shot at from every single direction. Now in the video I'm showing, we were on our 3rd round, and we just got stuck on it. It was Hive with Arc Burn, and nonetheless it was level 34 enemies, and we were only level 33. And it took us a good, 14, 15, maybe even 16 to 20 tries. I stopped counting after, so many deaths, but we eventually got a strategy down for deactivating the mines. And what it was is we knew where they were going to pop up, we knew where they were going to spawn, and we had each person in position. We had 2 people out in the middle and 1 person on the side with a Gallahorn looking out for wizards, and boomers were our huge problem. And with my Hunter ability, I was able to go invisible and get one of the points, and our Titan would pop a bubble on another point, and that was our strategy, and it eventually worked. We started off sending just 1 person out there, and 2 people are on Gallahorn duty, but that didn't work too well, so we changed it up and sent 2 people out there with the Sunsinger's ability and the Titan's ability to just take a hit. Those 2 were the ideal choices to go out there. And my invisibility, I was able to stay in cover and also capture a point. At times, if one of the teammates was in trouble, we had the Titan try to pop the bubble over them, but it got to the point where we just told him that just pop the bubble if you're about to die, and save yourself. But that Arc Burn was definitely a hindrance to everything, but we wouldn't have made it through if we wouldn't have had Gallahorn. There's no way we could have taken out the wizards without taking down their shields with Gallahorn first, and Gallahorn's really how we made it through the entire thing, because I believe our round 4, the final boss was Solar Burn. So it's definitely crucial that you have Gallahorn. I mean, there's nothing else I could compare it to, but I mean, when dealing with Hive, there's going to be immense amount of thrall just everywhere, but the thing we did is we tried to create orbs of light for one another by using our super on the small enemies and just trying to take out the big enemies first before anything happened, and that seemed to work a lot for us. It was a lot of, if someone died, the Hunter going invisible to res them, or the Sunsinger, we really had them save their super until a crucial moment, because if someone could go revive them and they wouldn't have to waste that super, that was it was like a double lifesaver right there. So for the main strategy, I'd touch on just having a plan before you go into each round. Between each round, we took time and we sat in the airlock and we waited for our ammo synths to regen. We made sure we had that enough, we made sure we had full heavy ammo, and we waited for our synths and we just took a moment, took a break from the game, and just tried to recuperate and come up with a plan instead of just, we made the mistake of just rushing into each one without thinking, without knowing, even though we did it on a previous level. It was like doing a nightfall. It was crucial that we had a strategy and had a plan. With all that said, I do want to say that I really do enjoy the challenge of Prison of Elders, and even though there is very little areas to take cover, I do really enjoy that Bungie took out that option of, cheesing, or, really made sure that no one could cheese. And one thing we noticed, that if your guardian stays in one area or small area for a long period of time without moving or killing an enemy, it will randomly teleport you to like the center of the room or directly next to an enemy. And this didn't happen often. It happened once to me and twice to one of my teammates, but it was just something that Bungie had thrown in there to keep you in the game, make sure that you were really out there and on your toes, so you never really knew what to expect. I would have to say the major thing you have to pay attention to is the different types of burns you would get, or abilities. One, we had ability where our melees were stronger, so in a sense we had the light switch and the enemies didn't. There was one that our shields wouldn't regen, and we found that using your super or being resurrected would regen the shield. Using the Titan bubble would regen the shield. So that was our strategy for that one. There's ones where our grenades would, the cooldown would be reduced or would be sped up, which was nice. And I think it was around this part where we finally finished it, and it was actually a really smooth run. We didn't expect it to be, because we had been struggling so much and having so much trouble with it, and all of a sudden we just did it, and we were so happy. It was really, we had been at that round for about an hour, and that was only our third. We had cleared the first two all right, and I think we only died a few times, but this one really gave us trouble because of that arc burn. So, again, it's really when strategy came into play and planning as well. And I just want to talk about the DLC in general as we get ready to load into the next round here. I think it was our final boss fight. But personally, I really enjoy the DLC. The Reef looks really cool. Petrovenge is cool. I love doing the bounties and everything, and all the cool shaders. The Prison of Elders is definitely my favorite so far. We haven't had a chance to hop into Trials yet. I think it starts this Friday. The gear looks really cool, and the shaders as well. I love how you can get the different Fallen House emblems and aesthetic pieces and ships. Definitely the story, it was similar to Dark Below, as in you had to do mission after mission. My friends and I really wanted to get to the Prison of Elders, so we kind of rushed through it, but I believe today or tomorrow we're going to be taking the time on the second character and really enjoying it. The Citadel was really cool to finally get to go up there. No spoilers, but that was really neat. Some plot twists in the story, I guess, if you're super into lore or kind of the actual story of it. I am, but at the same time it's I really wasn't expecting much. So I do believe it's cool. I like how Bungie has be able to farm those chests to get the keys to open the treasure room in the Prison of Elders. I remember the week before, everyone had so many engrams because you couldn't decrypt them till House of Wolves, and he just ranked up in Cryptarch 3 times in an hour, and I believe I got 2 exotics at the time. I believe in the whole day of the launch I had gotten 5 exotics. Unfortunately it was 2 universal remotes, 2 No Land Beyonds, and a hard light. And I had already had a hard light and a No Land Beyond. But it did give me those exotic shards I did need to ascend my weapons and armor. My team and I are getting ready to go into the final round, the boss fight here. It was Hive again, but we were so relieved to figure out it was Solar because we all had Galahorn. We didn't really have a lot. At least I didn't have a lot for primary or secondary weapons. I believe I just had a new fusion rifle I got that was arc, but definitely, again, like I said, Gallahorn. Use Gallahorn, that's all I'm going to say. But what he would do is, the Prince of Flame, he would set the floor on fire for 8 seconds. And, I mean, I think we had died twice before we had kind of figured out, like, our Titan friend had said they have the shield regen, or armor of light, in the bubble, so we had figured out pop the bubble in an area where we can just keep jumping for that 8 seconds. We had like an overhang on the ceiling where we weren't able to get hit if we were jumping up and out of the bubble, but the bubble would regen our shields when we would hit the floor. So that was our main strategy that we came up with there. I believe there's a few other teams. We had talked to our friends that had come up with that as well. I mean, it really wasn't that hard to figure out. But in case you didn't know, I mean, definitely Armor of Light. I was running Gunslinger again. It's been easier to create more orbs of light. And our Sunsinger would create orbs if I couldn't create orbs for the Titan. I don't really know. He would about drop the Rage, or I believe it was like Summoning of Rage or something, and he would set the floor on fire every few minutes or so, or whenever he would take so much damage. And so we just did that, and then once that was cleared, we hit him with Gallahorn, or we would use our supers and create orbs. I mean, that was our main strategy, is just hitting the boss and creating orbs at the same time. So, I mean, we just creating orbs for each other, and the Titan created orbs for me, which created orbs for the Warlock, and I mean, that was our main strategy, and we were able to beat him like the third time we went in. So, again, it was probably because of Gallahorn. The Wizards, there wasn't a lot of enemies that really gave us trouble because of that, and it was just, it felt like a way easier fight, because that we had just spent an hour on the last round just being annihilated when there was 3 wizards or boomers at a time. The splash damage was just horrible. I do want to point out that we were level 33 facing level 34 enemies, so I'm not sure what kind of strategy would work for level 34 players on this. I mean, I assume the same strategy would work just as well, but I mean, I feel like by that time you were 34, you would have a lot more firepower, be able to, just do it quicker. But I mean, definitely the Titan bubble helped. We had a team that went in there with 1 Warlock and 2 Titans, and the Titans just switched off making bubbles. But I would definitely suggest going in there with a Sunsinger if you were on definitely playing as a lower level, because that saved us a few times in the long run. And again, there's times where it was really bad, where our Sunsinger got killed before his, resurrection animation finished, and it was just awful. As hard as it was to do the level 34 version right away, I did enjoy it, and my teammates did enjoy it, and it was very, very rewarding. Unfortunately, in this one, when we dropped down into the treasure room, I didn't have a key to get a chance to exotic. I had used the key on the other 2 lower level versions already. I only had 2 keys, but it was definitely still rewarding. I got the Ether Light, so I was able to ascend my armor and be one step closer to level 34 as well. As the footage kind of plays out here, I'm just gonna ramble a bit more about the DLC and what I'm expecting in Trials. Trials, I'm really excited for now. I'm not the best at PvP at all. I don't get like super kill streaks every time, or I don't really have many good weapons, but I do check the meta for the system I run on PlayStation 4, and I do watch that kind of stuff, and I try to do my best. But I do have a good team, and for Trials, I believe we are going to be running one of each class. Definitely a Sunsinger. I mean, that's crucial. I mean, I believe you can do it without a Sunsinger. It depends what your strategy and how good your team is, and what team you'll be going up against. But our strategy is to run with a Sunsinger, and with a Hunter, and a Titan. Definitely a Striker Titan, because a Striker Titan can cancel out other people's supers. I'm unsure if I will be running Blade Dancer or Gunslinger yet, but definitely our Warlock will be running Sunsinger, just because the Void Bomb, it's good for taking out large groups of people, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you're going to be able to kill one person with your super, as where, a Striker Titan would have that ability to cancel out a Sun-Singing Warlock, or, the Arc Blade would be able to take out many enemies, or Gunslinger, you can move around with it. That's all we really have come up with so far. It really depends on what the enemy team's strategy is, and I believe we just dropped down into the treasure room. I remember we did it, and I saw the treasure room for the first time, and I was just like, whoa, I was just blown away. It was really cool. It wasn't as big as I expected, but I really thought that it was really neat, and I loved all the gold everywhere, and it truly looked like a treasure room. Like, there's where all the Destiny loot went, Queen's been hiding her stash from all the Guardians forever, but it was just... It was really cool to see that, and I thank you guys for watching my video, listening. I hope my strategies have helped, and I might try to do more of these commentary type stuff in the future. Again, thank you for watching, and go enjoy your day.